Hello, my amazing artists. Welcome back. Okay, so today we're going to start by doing something called our motto. Our motto is just something we say before art that gets us super excited. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do a little bit and then you're going to do the same thing. So when I pause, that means it's your turn, okay? And there are some hand motions. Here we go. I make messes. I make mistakes. But deep down inside, I've got what it takes. I am an artist. Okay, this week for art, what we're going to be doing is we're going to continue with learning about lines, and we're going to be doing some really fun line projects, okay? So if you're in kindergarten, what you're going to need is either a black marker. You can use a dry erase marker, you can use a permanent marker, or you can just use a regular marker, okay? And then you will also need some watercolor paints. If you're in first grade, what you're gonna need today is you're gonna need some yarn, and they can just be cut into strips. They don't have to be really long. You can use any color, any kind of yarn you have at your house, and you're gonna need some liquid glue, and we're gonna add a little bit of water to our liquid glue. You won't need a paintbrush. Okay, and you're gonna need a little cup like this because we're gonna be dipping the yarn. You'll also need a piece of paper. Okay, boys and girls, before we get started, I wanna go over some of the lines that we're gonna be making today. We talked about these a little bit last week, so let's see if you can remember their names. All right, y'all remember what this one's called? Zigzag, very good. What about this one? A wavy line. What about this one? Straight. You could even do two straight lines, which we call a double line. Let's see, you could even do this one. It might be a little bit hard, but this one we call a bunny hop. And then you first graders, you might even want to do this line, which is called a spiral today. Okay, so there are some of the lines that we're going to be making today with our art projects. Okay, first grade, this is what you are going to need. You are going to need some yarn cut into strips. You can use as many pieces or as many colors as you want. I just cut some colors I had here. You're going to need a piece of paper, and then here's what I did with some glue. I took some glue and I added some water just to make it kind of runny. We don't want it super thick. You see how it's kind of moving around? And then you just mix it with something, okay? So here's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna use our yarn to make some lines. This is a little bit messy. What you have to do is you're gonna take the yarn and you're gonna dip it into the watery glue, and you're gonna soak the yarn. Then we're gonna place the yarn on our paper and make lines. When this yarn dries, it will stick to the paper and it will be super hard, and it will be really cool. So you dip the yarn. You got to kind of get it wet, so your finger's going to get a little bit gooey. Okay, and then I'm kind of pulling the yarn so it's not all covered in glue. And then I'm going to take the yarn, I'm going to put it on my paper, and then I'm going to move it around to make a line. I'm going to start by making a wavy line. All right. See my wavy line? Okay, now I'm gonna do my next color. I'm gonna dip it, get it pretty wet. Get a little bit off so it's not super drippy. I mean, you want it pretty wet, you just don't want it like dripping everywhere. All right, I'm gonna lay this one on, and I'm gonna use my fingers, and I think I'm gonna try to zigzag. So I'm gonna try to make this one a little bit pointier. Like that, and it's okay that doesn't go all the way across my paper. How's that? Okay, I'm gonna do my next one. I'm gonna make a different line, or I can do the same, doesn't really matter. It's your choice. I think I'm gonna do my favorite line, which is a spiral. I'm gonna start in the middle. I'm just gonna take my yarn, I'm gonna wrap it around. And I know it doesn't look super green because it's covered in glue, but that glue is gonna dry clear and you're not gonna be able to see it. It's just gonna be stuck to the paper, and it's gonna be super hard, and it's gonna look really cool. All right, And then next week we will paint these different colors. I'm gonna do one more line because I don't have a super lot of room. Let's see, I think I'm just gonna do a curved line that goes from the top all the way around the side. All right, and I'm gonna stop there so I don't run out of room, even though I have some yarn left. You can do this however you want to. After you're finished, you're gonna need to wash your hands though. And then you're gonna wanna put this somewhere where it can dry. It's probably gonna take a whole day to dry, okay? And don't pick at it too much because next week we're gonna come back and paint these. Have fun.